Well, that was 2 hours of my life I'll never get back. Uncut Gems is directed by Josh and Benny Safety, and it stars Adam Sandler as a con man, as a jeweler who just kind of down on his luck. He is very good at what he does. He's super charismatic, but he's super greedy, and he always digs too deep on his bets. He never knows how to settle on a sure thing, so whenever he has something that's a safe bet that he can just win easy money off to pay off the people he already owes, he goes a step too deep and he pisses off the wrong people and just gets into even deeper of a mess. Now, I saw this movie because it is all over every social media platform. I cannot take my eyes off the advertising of this movie if I wanted to. Everyone and their grandmother is praising Adam Sandler's performance in this movie, so I had to check it out myself, and yes, it's a very good performance. He's suave, he's charismatic, he's super into it, he's super passionate about what he does, and he very much commands every frame he's in. I haven't seen Adam Sandler in serious dramatic roles like this, so this was kind of surprising, but he did a very good job. He's probably going to get a Best Actor nod for this movie. Also, the supporting cast is really good. Idina Menzel plays his wife, and she has a pretty good scenes with him. And Julia Fox plays his escort, kind of like his partner in crime at his office, and apparently this is her first movie, and she also does a very good job. Kevin Garnett is Adam Sandler's biggest client in this movie. It takes place in like 2012 when KG was in his prime on the Celtics. And a lot of Sandler's bets has to do with the Celtics games of the playoffs that KG is who he's betting on, so it was cool to see Kevin Garnett in an actual acting role. Usually when sports stars get in movies like this, they're the ones that bog the movie down, but KG actually did a pretty good job. He was convincing in front of a camera. So the cast is really solid. I really like the dynamic this movie takes as a crime thriller. It puts you behind the scenes. You get to see how the gambling game works in a very comprehensible way, and it puts it up and it sets it up in a way where there's a lot of rising tension throughout the movie. That rising tension is kind of the biggest flaw of this movie, but it's also its biggest strength. Let me explain it like this. This movie is essentially 2 hours of anxiety. Not only because the stakes keep getting bigger and bigger and Adam Sandler just keeps going deeper into debt and basically into trouble with bad people, you don't get a break in this movie as an audience viewer. Things just keep happening and happening at such a breakneck pace. It's really hard to stay engrossed on one certain thing because as soon as he gets one bet, he is going on to pay someone else or piss someone else off. And while that makes for a good movie on paper, just in execution, I didn't enjoy watching this movie very much. Although I can say it is, in fact, very well made. It's mostly because of the editing. The editing of this movie is so frenetic and so breakneck. It's so frustrating. Because essentially, this is every other scene in the movie. Adam Sandler will walk into a room and it'll be like, "How's my guys doing?" And his character's name is Howie, so all his clients will be like, "Howie, where's my money? Where's my money, Howie? You know you have my money." Then they start yelling at each other and just arguing back and forth, and then the camera is just set in a still place. So you're watching these people argue and talk over themselves, but it doesn't make for a comprehensible scene because you're trying to figure out exactly what the heck's going on. There's a lot of use in shaky cam in this movie to sell this frenetic and this back and forth, this chaos. The shaky cam was used very well. I feel like they knew what they were doing when it comes to overloading your senses in this movie. So as an audience viewer, essentially you're as anxious and panicked as Adam Sandler's character in the movie. Genius move, but not a fun movie to watch. This is a movie I can appreciate on a technical level, but it just wasn't for me. Adam Sandler's character is a pure dirtbag. I enjoyed seeing what he does and him being good at what he does, but when it's 2 hours of him just yelling back and forth with his cohorts and being a piece of trash to everyone in his life, it was just very easy to get fatigued watching this movie. Sandler's performance absolutely carries this movie. If it wasn't for his charismatic and commanding portrayal of Howie Dean, then this would just be another run-of-the-mill crime thriller. It'll definitely be enjoyable for some. I just wasn't a fan of the chaotic editing style.
I'm going to give Uncut Gems a solid 4 out of 5 stars.
So those are my thoughts on Uncut Gems. I didn't enjoy it, but it was still a very good movie nonetheless. I have one more review this year before I make my top 10 films of the year list, so let's get those going. I will see you for the next review.